good afternoon. What a wonderful, beautiful day this is. And I want to thank all of you for being here for a very, very special occasion. You know, I think I don't have to tell any of you that the college continues to grow. We grow in terms of number of programs, in terms of facilities, in terms of student populations. And our facilities continue to grow. I don't know, is this working all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Our facilities continue to grow to serve our student population. It wasn't long ago that we dedicated our Wellness and Aquatic Center at the Leonardtown campus. And as Rich Fleming will tell you, our steel is going up at our second building at the Prince Frederick campus. And today we dedicate another very special addition to this college, our new and improved BU building. It was one of the three, and how many of you remember, well, I think you all remember, but how many of you actually took classes or taught in the BU building? Let me see some hands. Okay, well, at one time, in 1968, it was state-of-the-art. It was a wonderful facility, and through time, it has lost its luster. I could use some other terms, I won't, but it was tired, and it needed to be renovated. And actually, it's interesting that these three buildings, CE, BU, and the administration building, for those of you like Joe Slater, know that these were our original buildings. The administration building was renovated and rededicated about 10 years ago. I don't know if you remember, some of you, that's before my time here. And these three were considered to be phase one of what has become a wonderful, beautiful campus. In fact, and you all know this, it's hard to entertain or welcome a guest to this campus who doesn't compliment us on a beautiful campus. The project has really transformed this building, and it's been a fairly extreme renovation. The original structure, as you know, was demolished. It was resituated and expanded from 1 story to 2 stories to nearly doubling its size. So that's what we call a renovation here. And this project then has significantly increased the amount of square footage that we're able to provide to our students, to our faculty, and some of our administrative offices. Hopefully you'll have a chance to walk around this wonderful building. It's about 24,000 square feet. There are 7 general purpose classrooms. There are 4 computer labs, 2 conference rooms, and those are beautiful conference rooms overlooking the quad here. And when you have the chance to tour the building, you'll see some other surprises as well, but also Tony Jernigan's administration and finance department that was scattered around the campus is now together in one place. The architect for this structure was Grimm & Parker. The general contractor was Scheibel, J.A. Scheibel. And the cost of the project was $9.3 million. This building, we have tried to get it to be as close in appearance to the administration building and to other buildings on campus, because we believe that this is really adds to the appearance and the feel of this campus. So thank you for being here today. I would like to recognize a number of individuals with us. We have State Senator Mac Middleton, who is a 1966 alum of the college. We have State Delegate Sally Jameson, who's chair of the Southern Maryland delegation. We have State Delegate Peter Murphy, who's chair of the Charles County delegation. I know Charles County Commissioner Ken Robinson is with us today. And I believe we're expecting Deborah Davis. Hopefully she'll be joining us shortly. Also, I don't know if he's, I have a whole list here. We have Nichelle Schultz, who represents U.S. Senator Barbara Mikulski. Thank you for joining us. From our Board of Trustees, and you'll hear from at least one of them, our board chair, we have Mary Krug. Our vice chair is Joe Slater. And other representatives with us, we have Mike Middleton and Dorothea Smith, Janice Walthauer, Lois Nidatali, Julie Sickle, and last and certainly not least, MacArthur Jones. From Scheibel Construction, we have the project manager, Adam Mudd, with us today. And there he is. John Hill is with us, a principal from Grimm and Parker, and David Prevet, who spent so much time on this building. And, we've done a lot of work with Grimm and Parker, and every building is just beautiful, so thank you. And Scheibel also always does a great job for us. We have Julie Andrews Walker representing the Greater Waldorf JCs. We have Charles County President, or the Chamber of Commerce President, Carlos Montague. Representing the Charles County Community Foundation is Gretchen Heinz Hardman. Representing the faculty, in terms, he's the president of the Faculty Senate, is Mike Green. We have CSM Foundation Chair, also an alum, Jay Lilly, who you'll be hearing from. Another member of our foundation board and also one of our valued adjunct faculty members is Paula Martino. And Christine Rush from the foundation board is also here with us today. Thank you. And I didn't put him up to it, but also Linda Gottfried is here from the Alzheimer's Association. Okay. So thank you all for being here. We have a few speakers who want to provide words of welcome. And I'm going to begin with Mary Krug, who's the chair of our Board of Trustees. I can't think of a more supportive person in her years on the board, has learned so much about the college, and has become so supportive. Thank you, Mary.
Good afternoon. And as Louis Goldstein would say, isn't this a wonderful day? This is a great privilege for me. I know many of you went to school here in this so-called building. And that's greatly different than what it is today. I know a little bit about what a renovation is. Let me tell you about my bathroom. Because we went on vacation last month and came back to a room that was totally gutted and is now being replenished. That's a renovation. This is a transformation. And I can't imagine, or actually, as old as I'm getting, I can imagine someone who actually attended class here coming to their grandchild's graduation next month and pointing out and saying, "That's the building I went to class in, and it looks just like I remember." It has changed quite a bit from the day when we all came here with sledgehammers and had the fun of bashing holes in the wall. That will be one of the highlights of my term as a member of the Board of Trustees. But it was indeed the beginning of a transformation. And transformation is really the business that the college is in. So even though we call this a renovation, in every way, I think transformation is the right word, not just because of the physical aspects, but because of what will happen here as a result of it. Many of you here are as old as I am and remember 1968, when the whole country was transformed, not by good things, but by bad ones. This was a good thing. It was a class building that was sort of the launching of Charles County Community College and therefore the College of Southern Maryland. But we lost Martin Luther King, and we lost Bobby Kennedy, and we lost our innocence, and we were in Vietnam. And 1968 wasn't a great year, but it was a great year for those who attended school here. It gave them the start on a great future. This is sort of a payback and continuation of that. And I'll tell you, share with you a couple of things that have been shared with me about what was happening then and what it led to. The head of the biology department, Belva Jensen, in 1968, and her husband Roy, were taking college students and faculty members on a 3,500-mile trek following the path of Lewis and Clark to compare the clean waters of the Lewis and Clark expedition with the pollution that had taken place in those same waters in the interim. These conclusions helped to prepare instructional material for the college's new curriculum in pollution abatement technology. And from that has grown the college's Maryland Center for Environmental Training, which serves nationally as a place of learning for water pollution compliance activities. A new IBM 360 Model 30 computer system was installed here as part of the 1968 Phase 1 campus. And with it, the college was able to offer a new associate program in scientific data programming. This spring, the college will celebrate its very first graduate of our newest Associate of Applied Science degree in nuclear and engineering technology, instrumentation and control, providing education that will apply to power plants, electrical utility systems, and energy-related systems. Student enrollment when this building originally opened was 211 full-time students and 504 part-time, for a total of 715 students. Today, CSM enrolls more than 9,166 credit students with, I'm sorry, my bifocals are not working here, 34,000 enrolled full-time, no, I'm sorry, 3,484 enrolled full-time, and 5,682 part-time. And of course, that doesn't begin to touch all the people who come here for a 4-hour program, a 4-week program, the 8 weeks that launched them into a new career at the Trade Center. When the building was opened with the new campus in 1968, it was heralded as an opportunity to meet more of the educational needs of the county through expanded laboratory, classroom, and student facilities than its previous home on the former Nike site on Bumpy Oak Road. I would say that maybe it was that point from which the college was launched like a rocket into the future. Sorry, I couldn't resist that. It was also able to expand library buildings and services. Today, we celebrate our Leonardtown campus at its present location and our Waldorf Center as at its for 15 years. And currently, at our Prince Frederick campus, we are under construction with our second building to expand our NET program and to grow our programs and services for our community and students. Yes, we are definitely continuing to pursue opportunities to meet more of the educational needs of our communities. This is a legacy that we're continuing today. Goes from 1968 to the future. In the spirit of moving forward, we celebrate this renovation and the transformation of the lives of all the people who will benefit from it. And I have to thank all of you, and particularly the legislators and public officials who have made this possible financially and with your moral support. The Board of Trustees who have had vision and seen it through. To Brad, who has been the leader of this vision. My short time on the board has been amazing as far as what transformations have taken place. And I can only hope that at my age, my memory will hold on long enough for me to be able to compare what's happening now with all the future transformations that will come and the leadership that will evolve from the students who benefit from this facility. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mary. These buildings don't go up by themselves, and one of the big things we need is financing. We have many community colleges around the country, but I have to mention that I have never seen a commissioner board or a group of members of the delegation in Annapolis who have been more supportive. And I want to thank them. I'm going to give them an opportunity to come up. First of all, for our commissioners, remember, as a regional college, the state pays 25% of the cost of construction, and the county must come up with the other 25%. And whenever we've come to the commissioners in Charles County, they've always said, of course. They're very proud of this college, and I want to recognize and call up Ken Robinson.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gottfried. I am here on behalf of the Charles County Board of Commissioners. Perhaps you've read about us recently. It is an honor to be here. A year and a half ago, we were here when you kicked off the BU building's extreme makeover. I know we've heard transformation, demolition. We'll call it demolition and renovation of this building. And now, after many months of hard work, what has been brought forth from the construction dust and dirt is this new building that will stand to serve the educational needs of CSM students for many years to come. And just as CSM is rich in history with a promising and exciting future ahead, so is the BU building. This building adds to the already impressive array of structures on CSM campuses throughout Southern Maryland and now reflects the look and feel of a progressive, innovative, and technologically advanced institution. More than just bricks and mortar, this building is a space where students will gather for recognition ceremonies and where trees will grow and be planted to honor educators and life changers. And as we heard the stories dating back to 1968 about this building, the dedication of this new building is a significant moment in the organization, the college's history. It's significant because every building has a story. We've already heard that. Just ask the people who built it, or the people who conceived the project, or more importantly, those who hope to be served by it in the future. And if you were to talk to the thousands of people who played a role in bringing this building to life, you would hear 1,000 different stories about what has happened here. And so as we dedicate this building, we are extremely fortunate to be able to pause and celebrate the success and growth of CSM across several decades. And there are obviously no signs of slowing this place down. So as CSM forges ahead into the latest frontiers in higher learning, I would again like to take this opportunity on behalf of the Board of Commissioners to offer you the very best wishes to all of the students, the faculty, the administrators who have made CSM a powerhouse in education in Southern Maryland and beyond. And so I wish you all the best luck as you move forward. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, as I mentioned, we have a wonderful group of legislators, and some of them have attended the college. Some of them have had children attend the college. All of them are very, very supportive. Whenever we have a need, we know that we can come to our delegation, and they're always there for us. I'm going to call upon all of our elected officials here today, if I could. Sally's in the program, but I also want to call upon Mac and Peter just to come up. If you'd like to say a few words, we certainly would be honored. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Brad and members of the board and the foundation and the faculty and the staff, thank you all for including us in the dedication today. It's a big step. I happen to be one of those people that worked and attended class in the original BU building, and I can assure you it has really changed. I worked in the data center here for probably 5, 6, 7 years, and We had the largest computer you would ever believe. I mean, it filled up a room. And now I'm sure today you probably have as much power in your cell phone as that computer had. But what I'm trying to say to you is how much the facility has changed, what you're able to offer to the community has changed. And I know that because we have this facility throughout Southern Maryland, our community is truly blessed. It's wonderful we can have a facility such as this for our children and our grandchildren to attend and try to figure out what life is all about and learn at the same time. This is one of the things that when we get requests in Annapolis, when it comes to the college, we always are very supportive. We try to find a way to make things happen. And I don't think we've ever invested a dollar that didn't come back to each and every one of you here, and just in triple. The enrollment, as you heard, is growing. We know the facilities are constantly in need of upgrades. It does not matter what campus you go on for College of Southern Maryland. There is a project taking place, there is growing going on, and there are students just all over this place. So, Brad, I think we've done a good job when we've chosen to invest dollars here in Southern Maryland in our community college system. It certainly will, as I said, come back to each and every one of us. So thank you for letting me be here today. I am standing under the cover. You're out in the sunshine. So I'm going to ask Mac and Peter to come up and say a few words to you too. Thank you very much for having us here.
Thank you very much. Karen asked me earlier if I would take a few moments to say something, and I wasn't going until I saw Delegate Jameson's name on the program, and I wanted to make sure she got into the House version of why we failed in Annapolis to do the budget. I wanted to make sure that you heard from the Senate side as well. And since, Brad, you recognized Linda, I must recognize my better half, too, Joan Middleton, who's back to the back. You can tell she's my wife. We're color coordinated today. You can tell Bill is her boss. He's color coordinated as well. But it's a pleasure to be here. And God, I thought 1968 when we started the building here, and I was thinking, gosh, in '68 I was graduating from college, having gone to the community college over the old Bumpy Oak site. And gosh, after that many years, if you need a transformation, I guess I need a transformation too. But it is a pleasure to be here. And as I was sitting and listening and reflecting, I remember my days when I became my first step into politics as president of the county commissioner, and sitting in the old commissioner's wing with then President Sine, who brought a picnic lunch for then County Commissioner Murray Levy and Nancy Sefton and myself to explore the possibility of the county committing to the inner campus and this beautiful design. And I thought, my gosh, this is an expensive project. And here we are. Not only have we got the inner campus, we've got the child care center, but now we've got this renovation. It is a pleasure. Sally mentioned about the support of the delegation, the support that you have from the county commissioners. And we give it so willingly because we see ourselves as part of a team, with the professors, with the board, the instructors, all the support staff. We're all in this for one thing, and that's for the students. And I know that delegation agrees with me. Every year in Annapolis, the thing we look probably forward to the most is Community College Advocacy Day, when many of the board members, and we probably have the largest contingency of students from the entire state that come to Annapolis to advocate for the community college, and hear the stories about how unaffordable education is right now, and that students can find an affordable education here at the community college. So we're all part of the team, and I'm just glad to have been part of the team that brought us here today. God bless all of you and for your support.
Good afternoon. I actually had a different response. When I saw that Sally's name was in the program and I didn't have to speak, I thought that's really a relief. So thank you, Brad, very much. So I will make my comments very brief, but they're very heartfelt. I just want to say really, really what a pleasure it is to be here today. And just to kind of echo some of the words of Sally and Mac, it is always an easy task for us to support not only education, but certainly our community college. And as Mac mentioned, when students and faculty come up to Annapolis and we hear their stories, it's always a reminder of what an incredible facility and education this gives, not just to those students that are leaving high school, but to adults who have made a decision at whatever time in their life to change their life and to provide the facility and the faculty and the staff and the support to allow them to make that choice and to make that decision to do that is really quite incredible, and it's always inspiring. I'm past wanting to go back to school, but I have had my share of it. But anyway, I'm here just to congratulate you on this and to thank. The bricks and the mortar. It's a beautiful building, and it makes us really proud to have this in Charles County. We're delighted to be able to support it. But we all know that what makes this work and the lifeblood of all of this starts from the top with President Gottfried and the vision and the Board of Trustees, the foundation, but the students, the faculty, the administration, all the support staff that goes in to making these buildings work and to change the lives of people. So often we just take that for granted. I want to stand before you and tell you that we don't take you for granted. Everything that you do matters to the success of this, and so we're very pleased to be part of that. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you very much. Well, we're so proud of all of our students, current and past students, and we have about 20,000, actually a little bit more than 20,000 actual students who have graduated from the college. And you're going to hear from one of them right now, and that is Jay Lilly. That must be Jay Lilly right here. I always forget to turn this thing off. Anyway, there always has to be a little drama, right? Jay Lilly is really someone that we really take pride in recognizing. He is an alum of the college. He graduated in 1975, lives in Charles County, owns a few real estate companies, and he served on the foundation board since 2008. And this year, he's chair of the foundation board. At this past winter commencement, those of you who were able to attend, you know that he and his wife Mary received a Distinguished Trustee Service Award for all the things he's done and continues to do to recognize this college to move it forward. And without the help of our foundation, so many students would not be able to get an education. We would not have the kinds of equipment that we really need. So I'm going to call upon Jay Lilly to provide some remarks as well.
Thanks so much, and good afternoon. We really are fortunate here at the College of Southern Maryland to have so many generous partners who are in a position to help our students achieve their dreams and ambitions. I feel fortunate as a business owner to give funds back into the community of CSM to help students reach their educational goals. Just this year, we have already had several new scholarships for our students, and I'd like to kind of read them off and let you know what those include. The Charles County government has given us a nursing scholarship. The Charles County Chamber of Commerce, a business scholarship. The McNellis family, an accounting scholarship. Connie Kite, a nursing scholarship. Carmen Sanders and Matthew Gambrell, the Dennis Lake Smith Memorial Arts Scholarship. Zonta of Charles County, the Gail Cook Scholarship. Brad and Linda Gottfried, an art scholarship. The Western Charles Community Association, a scholarship for students in workforce development continuing education course, and the Patuxent Partners provided the BECA Pathways to Engineering scholarships. Quite frankly, many of our students simply could not succeed without this type of support. As with my own experience, I received a partial scholarship at CSM from the C&P Telephone Company. This made it easier to begin my college education. While here, the professors were and continue to be dedicated to the students. They provided me with a great educational base and helped me focus to achieve what I needed to gain entry into Georgetown University, where I earned my bachelor's degree. The CSM Foundation has made stories like mine possible for hundreds of College of Southern Maryland students. At this time, I would like to ask our fellow alum, or my fellow alum, and Foundation Board Director, Christine Rush, to join me at the podium. Let me tell you a little bit about Christine. Christine has a master's in international management and a bachelor's degree in business administration from the University of Maryland, but she started here. She earned her Associates of Arts degree with honors from CSM in 1987. She's also the Chief Financial Officer, Executive Vice President, and Corporate Secretary of Old Line Bank, which has generously partnered with the college to establish the Old Line Bank Business Program Annual Scholarship Fund in the amount of $50,000. Isn't that wonderful? This fund will provide merit-based scholarships to eligible CSM students enrolled in business programs. No, we're not. So, Christine, thank you so much for the check. That's right, that's right.
For good things.
Okay, sir, thank you.
I'd like to recognize Deborah Davis, Commissioner, who's just joined us. Thank you so much, Commissioner. Well, as you've heard, and it's really special when I hear elected officials talking so eloquently about our students, because that truly is what we're all about. We're also all about our faculty and our staff, because again, you know, people will comment about how wonderful our facilities are, the wonderful academic programs we have, but it comes down to our employees. It comes down to our wonderful faculty, our administrative support staff, who go the extra mile, who care so deeply about the students. You know, it's not about money. It's always about how can we help to change lives. And that's what we're doing as employees, changing lives every single day. We have a wonderful, wonderful core of faculty. We have full-time faculty, we have a number of part-time faculty, and they truly do go the extra mile. I've worked with many, many groups of faculty, and I've been very, very impressed with this core that we have with us. And whenever I'm out in the community and I talk about, and I interact with somebody who either is a current student, a past student, a parent, and I say, what is it that's best about the college? They always talk about the faculty and how the faculty have gone the extra mile. They also talk about a number of administrators, and many of you in the audience know who you are because I've always tried to thank you as well. And so it's fitting that we ask the leader of our faculty, and that is Mike Green, a professor of business and also the president of the Faculty Senate, to come to the podium and provide a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gottfried. Good afternoon. The BU building was my home on this campus from 1995 until its closing for renovation after the spring 2010 semester. The BU building was home for accounting, business, and economics faculty and students for decades preceding my arrival. It was the campus home for George Flynn, an accounting professor in the 1970s who was instrumental in establishing our accounting degree program. Unfortunately, Professor Flynn died from complications following a liver transplant operation. I never met him, but I was reminded of his dedication to this institution, its students, and to the teaching profession daily whenever I passed the majestic Bradford pear tree that stood on the inner campus side of the BU building. The tree was planted and dedicated in Professor Flynn's memory. In his honor, our Accounting Student of the Year Award is named the George Flynn Memorial Accounting Award. That tree fell victim to a severe storm about 5 years ago and had to be removed. Shortly after, a replacement tree was planted in its place and rededicated with George's widow and 4 adult daughters joining in a lovely outdoor ceremony, much like we're having today. When the BU renovation was to begin, and the business, economics, and legal studies faculty had to leave the BU building for the ST building, we were worried that that second tree would not survive all the construction activity surrounding the BU renovation. I'm happy to report that that second tree still lives. As part of the renovation, the tree and plaque commemorating George were relocated to the newly planted English garden over by the Friendship House in front of the Center for Business and Industry building. On a personal note, I look forward to coming back to the BU building this fall to teach students the economic way of thinking, this time in a state-of-the-art classroom. On behalf of the CSM faculty that believe in the power of a well-crafted lecture delivered in the face-to-face environment and in the magic that happens when people are gathered together for learning in that environment, I thank all of you here today that had a hand in financing, designing, directing, and doing the physical labor needed to bring this renovation, which includes more classroom space, to fruition. From talking with George Flynn's widow on that dedication day and learning of George's passion for connecting with people, I'm sure that he would thank you too. Thank you.
Well, as you can imagine, literally thousands of students have taken classes in this building, and it's always special when we can recognize a past student who, and all of our students are successful once they leave us, but we are in the business of student success, and we are constantly challenging ourselves to do a better job. One way that we're able to do this is to continue to hammer out articulation agreements with baccalaureate granting institutions. Many of our students will transfer to as many as 88 institutions across the country, actually in 29 states and the District of Columbia. Just this past year, we've hammered out a number of articulation agreements. Johns Hopkins University, George Mason University, and Excelsior College, to name just a few of them. And that's what it's all about. It's not just providing an outstanding education once students are here at the college, but to help them with that transition. And one of our graduates is with us today, Miss Tiffany Washington, who graduated in 2008 with a degree in accounting, and then she went on to UMUC, graduating in 2010, and just 2 years later, she has opened her own accounting firm, Washington Accounting Services. If we had done this ceremony a week and a half ago, she wouldn't be with us because she was up to you know where in tax returns. But we're so pleased to have a past student with us, an alum, who understands what this college is all about and what how important these facilities are. So if I could ask Tiffany Washington to come to the podium, please.
Good afternoon. I do remember this building. I spent a lot of time as an accounting major in this building. Mr. Green, I think you were my professor at one point. My memory starts here in 2000 when I was a junior at Thomas Stone High School. And my guidance counselor and probably an advisor from CSM came to my school and told me that during my senior year that I could possibly go to college while I was in high school. It was great. At 17, I'd leave school early. Couldn't ask for anything better. Take 3 classes. I was happy. The classes that I decided to take while I was here was math. I don't know why a 17-year-old would take math classes, but I did, and I did great, and I loved it. Not until I graduated from high school, I then continued to come to CSM for another 2 semesters, and then I decided to go to the Army. So you see how small I am. I was a military police officer. Okay, so that was not what I wanted to do. So I came back home and I actually got a job at Countrywide as a mortgage underwriter. At that time, education was not important to me. I figured, you know, I can get a job, I'll be fine, I have some money, get a new car, I'm great. But at that point, once I got more involved with what I was doing and wanted to create a career, I decided to come back to school and I decided to come to CSM because that's where my history was. I started and I said, you know what, I might as well finish it. My first semester back was during the summer, a 6-week course, accelerated. I don't know what I was thinking. Hadn't been in school for about 5 years, and I said, okay, you know what, the first class I'm going to take is a part of a business administration. Because I was doing the mortgage underwriting, I thought business is probably the best way for me to go. And I took my first class, which was accounting. A light bulb went off. That was what I needed to do. And so from that point forward, I took all of my accounting classes first, did everything I could do to change my profession. At that point, I continued part-time here, and also I had a son. He's 5, and it made it very difficult because I had him. I'm a single mother, going to school, having a full-time job, but I made sure that I completed it. At the time, my parents did foot the bill, and which I'm very grateful for. And then I graduated in 2008. I was told that there was a transfer scholarship to UMUC that I would qualify for as long as I kept a certain GPA. Okay, so I decided to continue on, in which I recently just graduated from the University of Maryland, University College in 2010. And I am currently enrolled in their Financial Management and Accounting Master's Program, which I will hopefully be completing by the end of this year. I started my accounting firm in 2007. It has been a wonderful experience. It is so great to be a business owner. But I would not have the foundation to be able to do that if I wasn't here. And I don't feel that I could get any better education besides the College of Southern Maryland. I have a lot of friends that went to Prince George's County Community College, and they complain, and I said, I'm good. I love the college. You know, my professors help me. You know, if I'm after class, before class, if I need to come another day, email them. They gave me their home number, their cell number. I had everything I needed to succeed. And so being here, I'm truly honored to be here. I'm glad that I'm here, and so you're able to see that, you know, all the dedication and the hard work that goes into CSM, it does truly pay off. I have been in business for myself for 5 years. I've had the opportunity to meet President Obama on 2 different occasions, one at the White House and one on a live airing at MSNBC. I've also received the Achievement Award from the National Association of Self-Employed in 2009, where they granted me $30,000. I've been in the Self-Employed magazine several times. Just 3 weeks ago, I was on the front page of the Money magazine, Money section of the USA Today. So a lot of things have blossomed. I just got elected to be on the board of the National Association of Self-Employed, which starts next month, so I look forward to doing that as well. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here, and you guys have a great evening.
Wow, I think I popped all my buttons. I'm so proud. Thank you. But this is what the College of Southern Maryland is all about, and we all know that. Usually we would just cut the ribbon at this point, but I do want to call upon one more speaker, and that's Dr. Bill Comey. He's Vice President of Student and Academic Support Services. Unless you've been involved in a project, especially a renovation project, you don't really understand what it's like. When Bill started this project, and by the way, I asked Bill if he would oversee the supervision of this building. He was much younger. He looked about 20 years younger, and it was only a few years ago. He had a full head of hair, and it was all black in color. But it was a drumbeat of challenges, as many of you know. You know, you think you work with an architect, easy. You work with the contractor, easy, you know, and then suddenly you're cutting the ribbon, everything's good. Well, as Bill will be able to tell you, or whether behind the podium or in person, this was a challenge. When they started to dig, they found things that nobody ever thought was down there. And little things like, do we really need to have a water supply to this building? So, and yet never lost his cool and always kept a smile. And I want to thank Bill Comey personally for getting this building done, because this one was not easy. So, Bill?
Thank you, Brad. I know you guys out there are getting quite warm when the sun shines, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time up here at the podium so you can get inside to this beautiful building. It was my pleasure to be the project manager on the building, and my pleasure to work with Grimm and Parker and Scheibel in bringing this up out of the ground. As Brad alluded to, up out of the ground took us a long time. This is as one of the original structures on campus where everything came, where all the electrical feeds came, all the data feeds came. We still have in the ground all of the college's boilers and a lot of the HVAC systems for the college, which if you look over there and you go, what is that over there? Some people say that I built a barbecue for myself over there, but others say it's a patio. It's actually the roof of the boilers that are under the ground still. All of that will go away, I hope, when we break ground for the companion building that's going to be across the courtyard here, as we start the extreme makeover, the tremendous transformation of the CE building. And that should be getting underway in a couple months now. And we'll be looking forward to having all of you back here in a little under 2 years, I hope, to help us dedicate that beautiful facility as well. As a child, my mother had lots of expressions, including get your feet off the furniture. But one of her favorite expressions was many hands make light the work. A project like this does not happen without many hands doing lots of work, and I wanted to take a moment to thank some of the folks that contributed to this project. I wanted to start out by thanking Adam Potter and the physical plant staff. They took an active role in reviewing all the plans and designs for the building and helping oversee all of the construction of the building. I also wanted to take a moment to thank Dave Howard and the information technology staff, who again do a lot of work behind the scenes to make sure that all of the IT infrastructure, the data, telephone, AV infrastructure all meets the needs of our students and our faculty and our staff. Ben Effinger, who I see Ben way over there in the courtyard, and the public safety staff, who spend time doing things that we don't even think about to ensure that all of the life safety systems in the building work properly, that all the security infrastructure is in place to make the campus a safer place for students and staff and faculty to be. And finally, for Tom Kelly. Tom helped see this project from the bid process at the very beginning through the procurement of all the furniture and equipment that you'll see inside, and from the last minute rearranging of furniture today. All of those folks and many, many other people here at the college have helped put this all together, and I want to thank all of them and welcome you to see the building in just a moment. Brad.
Well, as Bill mentioned, in the very near future, we're all going to get our hammers and sledgehammers and start knocking down CE. I think many of you know that is going to be twice the size of this building because it'll have 2 wings, and we're really excited about this. It'll continue to serve our faculty and our students and move this institution forward. It's time now to make it official, so I'm going to ask everyone who was up giving a presentation, our elected officials, et cetera, to come on up. Let's cut the ribbon, and then we're all going to go in and enjoy this wonderful, beautiful new building and enjoy some refreshments. So come on up, everyone.